So how are we going to combine the pet industry with the entertainment industry, with the philanthropy industry, with the sports industries? Yeah, welcome to the news. Stay to the end to find out how we're going to go about that. Yeah. So welcome to the news. What we're trying to get at today is how to be able to conceptualize mindsets, to be able to develop electricity, to be able to combine the essence of developing philanthropy into a sport, the essence of developing philanthropy into like somewhat of a sport, more or less kind of thing, by focusing on how to leverage the essence of sports and transition people into the essence of combining entertainment with the essence of sports, similar to the Savannah Bananas. The Savannah Bananas, if you've heard of the Savannah Bananas. If you have not, Google them. Google the Savannah Bananas if you've not heard of them before. Ultimately, it's similar to the movie that came out a long time ago. It's called Baseketball. It was by the creators of the South Park shows. And so in addition, what we're trying to get at today is how to be able to combine the entertainment industry with the sports industry to develop a new philanthropy sport known as Games for Change and Change for Games, because we want everybody in the world to be able to change for games. Oh, so fundamentally, and wholeheartedly, there's a necessity for pets and animals in the whole world, because ultimately there's a whole side to life where the humanity is missing to a certain extent, because ultimately it's missing the essence and the nature of the good-hearted, good-natured, good instinct, fun-loving interest with the animal industry is a fundamental whole sense of the word, and so it's very much necessary for animals to be able to develop more of a presence in the animal world, similar to taking a dog or a cat to an old person's home and being able to shed light on a little bit of their mentality and their happiness and their focus and their flow, to be able to add and shed value to their world. That whole energy is a frequency that's missing from society, and so the more pets that get into society through a controlled environment, similar to cars, having insurance, having different checks and balances in such things so that no accidents necessarily can occur, and that these positive reinforcements can occur and revolve around these industries, causing a little bit more methodology to be in place so that animal wellness and welfare is looked after the same as a car is looked after, because there's insurance and registration and things that are able to track these goods that are known as assets, that are known as pets and animals in the animal industry. But fundamentally, we need animals as support systems to be able to connect the dots of humanity and the entertainment industry and the philanthropy industry and the sports industries, so that in essence philanthropy can become a sport after all. And it's possible that philanthropy becomes a sport. So similar to Baseketball, the movie Baseketball, there's a new game of basketball and baseball combined, and it's similar to the Savannah Bananas because they in essence combine the essence of entertainment and baseball. So we're trying to do that similar to yesterday, we talked about starting to develop a new type of a performance that sort of revolves around the essence of entertainment in fundamental senses, where we're able to develop a Frank Sinatra musical that is combined with electronic dance music in essence, but we're trying to combine that with sports at the same time. We're trying to combine that with like a basketball movie, so we're trying to also take the essence of filmmaking and the essence of a basketball movie to be able to more or less get down, to be able to develop more of a movie that has the ability to be like a real-life movie. And we're developing the business, music, movie, games for change games and change for games by developing this conceptual, consolidated process that involves all these elements in the world to develop more or less like a new philanthropy industry that revolves around games, and a new agent system, a new record label system, to be able to fundamentally factor in philanthropy for future success of future entertainment businesses, because most of the entertainment business is fundamentally shifting into the in real life space. Which also corresponds to the edutainment space. The edutainment space is something where it's in real life and things are filmed in real life, because a lot of the online content that's being generated is going to be artificial intelligence content, and that will take over the mostly production behind the scenes type of content. So in real life content is taking over in terms of the film industry of the future. Yeah. So everybody in the world is needing to try to acknowledge their own personal brands, like we're all becoming radio stations. Yeah, all people in the world are becoming radio stations in essence, and it's more like in the future that we're, instead of being people that are all focused around money and selling things that are based on contrived systems that correspond to having money to be able to contrive the systems, to be able to get certain flow, to be able to get demand to sway in certain people's favor for certain manipulations of certain markets, that in essence it comes down to the frequency of in real life edutainment to be able to spin into the future of the media industry, so that in essence edutainment is something that can only happen in real life and not through online marketing manipulation to be able to get demand to sway in a certain favor, but it has to come down to in real life content in essence, because it's the only way that humans have the ability to be able to compete with each other, is it with in real life content, in real life content, in real life content, in real life content, so that in essence everybody becomes like a radio station and they have to emit the widest, biggest, largest frequency, and that also can contribute to their, more or less, their monetary energy that can pay for certain marketing to increase the budgets of their wavelengths to be able to be spread. But ultimately, the most fundamental way to be able to spread those wavelengths, like an FM transmitter, like a radio station, in essence, is to do more philanthropy energy. More philanthropy energy is what causes the wavelengths to grow in the new world, where fundamentally these radio stations are emitted based on philanthropy energy frequencies to be able to grow personal brands in the future, in the edutainment market, in the future that we're also living in now at the current time. And at the same time, we're trying to fundamentally understand that every single month there's income and there's outgoing expenses. So we're trying to invest a little more diligently into the e-commerce space and also in the influencer space to try to be able to separate those income from expenses. Two sides to be able to draw more so into the income. So ultimately our frequency is starting to widen in terms of trying to be present and develop that combination between sports and philanthropy, sports and games and change for games and changing for games, and combining that with entertainment, like making Super Bowl halftime shows in the middle of nowhere all the time, every year, all day, all year, all around the world. And that's called Ding Tech Change for Games Studios, the company trying to develop all of these corresponding philanthropy energy generating processes that are like little halftime shows, similar to the Savannah Bananas, but like halftime shows that correspond to different flash mobs that are taking place, that different people are gathering together to develop different music, interesting, corresponding different elements of different musicals that are able to combine together all sorts of different essences of different musical genres, in essence, like Frank Sinatra and electronic dance music, for example, and all these differing elements of every single type of singer and all of every single different type of genre in between, to be able to also play the soundtrack to these different sports that people are able to play with each other, that are like different halftime shows that ultimately are like philanthropy flash mobs that are like different sports. They're philanthropy flash mobs that are like different sports that can be invented on a consistent basis all the time. Like a couple days ago, we invented the sport of telling everybody in the world about dogs and animal energy to be able to spread that cause around the whole world, so that in essence it's possible for everybody to be able to get together and be able to spread the essence of the animal energy to everybody in the world, so that everybody gets the essence of the purpose for animal energy to begin with, to be able to spend more time with animals, to be able to, just like having an animal, an old person's home and a cat combination, and taking a cat into an old person's home, in essence, it's just like that. It causes that good nature, it causes that philanthropy energy to be able to grow, and that corresponds to growing those transmitters in that FM transmitter radio station that everybody is more or less starting to do, is produce philanthropy energy transmissions from themselves, philanthropy energy transmissions, and everybody and every company and every circle of group of any people in the world is a new radio station from now on, basically. So it's like that is an obligation to be able to correspond to different sports that are able to correspond to in real life, that correspond to philanthropy energy, because that is fundamentally one of the best ways that people are able to agree with each other and go outside and play sports with each other, by doing good deeds and helping other people in the whole world as a collective of the whole world, helping the whole world, because that in essence corresponds to the best resulting outcome of the best positive possible conceivable energy of all these elements coming together, so that everybody's able to come together and be able to play with each other, to be able to have this conceptual centering energy that corresponds to the centering around and the focus on and the fundamental revolution that corresponds to philanthropy energy. It's the best sport that can be played by everybody every day around the whole world all the time. It's the sport that correspond to different causes every single day, because ultimately that is edutainment. That is edutainment, being able to make a film out of good deeds happening in a collective sense. Then these are also like called flash mobs, philanthropy flash mobs, but they're also called sports. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. So we're able to combine fundamentally all these industries because it brings us the cause of having an international sport contemplation like Baseketball, the movie Baseketball, and like the Savannah Bananas Times, Ariana Grande, and Frank Sinatra, and Diplo, and Skrillex, and all these other DJs, and an orchestra that's also corresponding to different fundamental sounds, and Fantasia happening in the background, so that all of these elements are happening at the same time, and these correspond to different philanthropic causes, and these can happen every single day, all around the world, in every single country, all around the world, all the time. Yeah, and so having like an animal wellness coalition around the world is similar to one of those games for change that we can all play. And I actually made an episode a couple nights ago about making that into a fundamental game for change, yeah. But ultimately, when we're focusing on people, we need animals as a support system in this process of a global change, of a global consistent game invention process where we're constantly inventing new sports like basketball, but they're also flash mobs that correspond to philanthropy and philanthropy giving processes that hopefully can spread to the whole world so that the whole country has the ability to spread to the whole entire world. Fundamentally, it is a metaphysical, biological, systematic process. That's what spiritual finance is all about, is metaphysical, biological, systematic processes to fundamentally enhance the whole world. Enhance the whole world. Enhance the whole world. And fundamentally also inform the nature of the influencer, e-commerce, sales process, the sales development of processes around the world, because the things that will sell, the things that will become into sales, the things that will become coming into demand and come into demand and becoming and come into demand correspond to playing global volunteerism games. And that is how we are fundamentally transitioning genre juice in the music and the film industry to be able to film all of these games on a consistent basis, to fundamentally also leak all of the genres in music to be able to play together in different processes and different collaborations and different formats of different music to be able to unfold from different genres, all playing it together at the same time, and all the sports being able to play together at the same time, and all of those corresponding to all these sports and all of these genres of music and sound and business music coming together to be able to make a brand new philanthropy industry, a new philanthropy industry known as philanthropy games. And all of these games for change that are being played around the world can have their own separate causes that they're trying to benefit, and this is what fundamentally will also reinvent the game of business. Fundamentally reinvent the game of business, yeah. Fundamentally reinvent the game of business into a metaphysical, biological, systematic process known as spiritual finance. Oh yeah. That's all for now. Bye. Ding Tech. Bye. Peace. Bye. Ding Tech. Bye. Thanks. Peace. Bye. Ding Tech Change for Games. Ding Tech Change for Games Studios. Bye. Peace. Bye.